Hello, I am Doug Walker. I will be doing a commentary here for Superman 4 with Lewis. Yes, look at the destruction. Oh my, the destruction. But there comes super people who can fly. And women that he wants to make out with but never gets. Or actually he does get in the second one but makes her forget. So, yeah, that's kind of creepy. I digress. Okay, hi. There was one time where I actually slicked my hair back. And I started to grow the hair on the sides of my face. And I actually did look like Admiral, is it Zod? I think it's Zod. I actually did look like him. In one Halloween or for a video or something, I might do that. I might actually go as Admiral Zod because I love that character. I could probably do a lot with it. But what the hell does that have to do with anything? Nothing. Nothing at all. I'm going to talk about this review, and the first thing I'm going to say, which is very, very important, is that the majority of it was written by Lewis. Lewis is the one who really wanted to do this review. And I saw the movie before, you know, there's certainly a lot to make fun of. But he was the one, I mean, this has been planned for, good lord, maybe half a year? Something like that. I think he wrote it a little before the brawl. And then we filmed a bit at the hotel with him, actually this opening, except we were actually in the same room together. But we did a green screen. Well, that looked horrible. So when he came up to shoot Alone in the Dark, we're just like, oh, okay, we'll just shoot it here. I think by that point my voice was still sort of out, but we figured we could dub over it later. And I screwed up and I lost the footage. The footage was totally gone, or no, it got corrupted. That's right. The file got corrupted. I was having some major computer problems. What a shock! Me and my computer. Can you imagine? And so that was lost. So we had to come up with yet another opening to do this, and I forget if I wrote that. I think Lewis wrote this opening as well, but it was pretty much along the same lines, except originally I came in pointing the gun at him. As Lewis would say, this review was sort of cursed from the beginning, just everything sort of went wrong with that. I think the constant filming of the opening never quite worked. We had to keep pushing it back, because I think at some point I did the top 11 dumbest Superman moments. Well, we couldn't do it in that compilation, that'd be too repetitive. So we were going to do it later, another installment, but then I think we were going to do whatever, either Alone in the Dark or the Brawl, so we'd figure push it back so we can film the footage. Then I lost the footage, so we had to keep pushing it back, and all sorts of problems. So Lewis was unbelievably patient throughout all of this. So big thanks to him. I believe if you go to the premium area, by the way, I think he has a commentary on this as well. I'm sure he totally badmouths me and stuff like that, because, you know, I destroyed his work. But, yeah. How deep are we in this movie? 4 minutes. Actually, something interesting when we met at, not met, but when we saw each other at YumaCon, I asked him, I said, what'd you think of the Superman 4 review, because it just came out around that time, and he said that, yeah, oh, it was good, but I won't lie, I had some issues, you know, with it and stuff like that. I started telling him, yeah, get used to that whenever you do whenever you do a crossover, you have someone else edit it, you're never going to be 100% satisfied. I found that when I did crossovers and have other people edit my stuff. You're just, if you're a perfectionist, it's kind of a nightmare. I should say that's me, not a nightmare. But it is one of those things, it's never going to be quite as good as you want it to be, or quite as you imagined it, because you have someone else, you know, editing it or putting it together. And I'm sure sort of what I saw with some of these jokes is not exactly what he saw, but we both like it. I mean, we're both proud of this review.
They didn't go anywhere in the first cut either, so I guess their loss is our gain.
And keep in mind, too, that it's not like I had no part in writing this. You know, the way it works is that there's a script that Lewis wrote, and I sort of looked through it. I said, no, all crap, and then I rewrote it. I kid. That's not what happened. I looked it over, and any joke I sort of thought, Nostalgia Critic wouldn't say this, or that this could be a little faster, or worded a little differently. You know, I sort of put my 2 cents in, but for the most part, it's pretty much as you see. And as I'm editing it, if I feel a spot's getting too slow or something doesn't add up, I'll add a joke, you know, or I'll say it a little differently.
That's just unbelievable and unrealistic.
So it turns out Lacey immediately starts...
I wonder if Lewis hates Fox News as much as I do. Yeah, he must, because we had that joke about making news. Actually, who's...
But then, the president of
My
the
brother
United
always
States
makes that
a
joke
chilling
about, you know, a
announcement.
news organization that says what's wrong with their other organization that posts the smut. You know, they make a news organization to complain about it, owned by the same people. It's a brilliant plan, actually,
Another
but...
subplot manages to sneak its way in. A teacher tries to console her elementary school students about this horrible...
Yeah, little things like when the kid says, I know who will help us, I just want him to go, motherfucker! You know, so little things like that I'd add in. It seems like this are really hard to do because you can't just freeze the picture. You either gotta slow it down or you gotta play it backwards. So if you watch that scene again of them saying, I thought they canceled Power Rangers and blah blah blah, you notice the kid in the middle with the mullet. And they all have mullets, what the hell? This is like a mullet classroom. This is redneck century here. What the? The teacher has a mullet. Well, okay, no, but it's a ponytail, but still.
What do you think we can do about the crisis? I tell you, I'd write a letter to them would do some good.
Motherfucker. I decided that every sentence people would listen to more if you just put motherfucker at the end of it, pretty much. I mean, wouldn't people be much more interested in politics if you just said motherfucker all the time at the end of every sentence? Everyone would. I still can't decide if this one is worse than Superman 3. It's quite a toss-up. I think this one probably is worse. So Superman 3 at least it had to have something. Oh, it had that fight with Clark Kent. I thought that was actually kind of cool, even though it made no sense. I thought it was a very interesting sort of existential idea. Actually, even this idea, as you can tell, Lewis, I wasn't sure we're going to get in trouble with this sort of... I don't know if you say pro-nuclear weapons, but it's definitely not anti, you know, here. And I actually don't have an opinion either way. I actually found Lewis's viewpoint very interesting. But, I mean, I personally don't care. I didn't know if people were going to freak out about this, or if they're going to say, no, they're going to destroy the world, whatever. And I'm really happy to see that people seem to be okay with that. I mean, I didn't see any complaints, at least.
I'd just like to kill you now, Lois.
My brother does a much better Clark Kent, but I think it was okay. There's a joke. Lewis wanted to put the Flintstones background in there, but I couldn't figure out how to do it or where to get the footage, you know, and stuff like that. You know, a lot of times you're just on a time restraint, so you just sort of do what you do. Oh, and this kiss that... You know, yeah, Lewis put it bad. It didn't make sense then, doesn't make sense now. At least it's consistent. I think I asked Lewis what the hell that shadow is on the left. I can't remember what he said, though. Well, Case, maybe? I don't know. That drives me nuts, that shadow. Sorry, Lewis, if you're listening, but I hate that shadow so much.
Jeremy and Superman walk into the United Nations together. So I suppose this is as good a time as any to say goodbye to little Jeremy, since this is pretty much the last we'll ever see of him in this movie. Goodbye! Goodbye!
Stuff like this is tricky. You know, I should actually say how this worked, too. It was pretty much that, you know, Lewis had the script written, and then we just say, go ahead, go ahead, film your scenes, and, you know, the best you can, and just send them to me, you know. So we couldn't really work off each other, we just sort of had to imagine how the other one would say it. And when you do that, you do about 5 or 6 different takes. So, you know, because you don't know if the other person you're going to work off of is going to be really angry and really loud, or are they going to be really reserved, or what. So, you know, and Lewis knows that, which worked out really well. So anytime I had a calm take, or, yeah, I mean, like, he did maybe a dozen faces for this scene, you know, so I know if I do a really big one, his should be more subdued, or if I do a subdued one, his should be more over the top, so, you know, it works out pretty good.
Whether the governments are unwilling to or not.
The one thing I noticed with Lewis's writing, you know, it was good, it was very similar to mine, but the interesting thing that made it a little harder for me is that when he's talking about the plot, he sort of does it not backwards, but some parts, like he'll put, you know, like the flying scene, he'll say, now they're gonna reenact the flying scene here, and it's scene by scene, and then they do the kiss, and then it's like, well, no, you gotta show the scene, sometimes you gotta let the scene play out, because you have to remember there's people who haven't seen the movie yet. Probably a lot of people haven't seen this movie because it's so horrible they want to avoid it. But I remember bits of the story were a little backwards, and then there's this scene, but before that, there's this, and stuff like that gets a little tricky, but it worked out okay, and there's very little of it. Here's the scene I thought would get us in trouble, but I didn't care. And if you are wondering, I have no idea what to think about nuclear missiles or any of that stuff. I mean, I don't know, they haven't blown us up yet. Maybe we'll blow something. I have no clue.
That is correct!
At any time, the Rocky music should be played everywhere. Anytime there's something, you know, happy or jubilant or something like that, always play the Rocky music. That'll put you in the best mood. Puts me in the best mood anyway. This goofy image of him putting them in the net. It's like a thermometer. Where'd they get that net?
So
Did he make it?
Their nukes, why the hell did they need Superman in the first place?
Good PR.
And that's an excellent part. You know, and like here, like this breaking out of the prison and stuff, this happened long before, you know, they started sending the missiles out, so you had to put it this way. And actually, to be fair, I do this a lot too. I'll sort of leave parts out of the plot or put another part earlier and stuff like that. So, I guess I shouldn't talk. What the hell kind of car is that? I was looking at that. Holy smokes.
So this is a step down in his career.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty bad.
Can't remember. I never did see Pretty in Pink, so I wasn't. You know, a lot of the stuff you just have to go, okay, I hope he knows what he's talking about, and people seem to laugh, so they definitely did.
Yeah, you're just an experiment freako. What? Oh, no.
How long is this movie again?
An hour and a half.
I think that was a joke I had originally. I just shouted, you know, oh, it's too long, oh no, blah, 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 but we already had a joke like that, so do the shooting.
That hobby has worked so well in the past. Couldn't you take a knitting?
So he steals a strand of Superman's
And this just worked out very luckily to have when Gene Hackman breaks the ice and
That hair is a sample of Superman's genetic material. With my genius and enough nuclear power to mutate the gene.
he cuts it like it's nothing, even though it holds 1,000 pounds. And it's just, as soon as I saw him play that way, I'm like, okay, that's the funniest part in the review.
power does whatever the hell the writer
Just
wants
having
it to.
Lewis say it as he cuts it. Stuff like that is just perfect. Here we go.
To lift 1,000 pounds, it apparently can be cut with a single edge.
So Lex assembles a terrifying group of
Oh, I
minor
love that.
characters who serve a purpose in the movie
Makes
to
no
discuss
sense.
his
No
evil
sense
plans.
whatsoever.
I, Lex Luthor.
And Gene Hackman's supposed fake hair is looking pretty good. It's a pretty good toupee there. This is a scene I goofed up with. I didn't watch the film scene.
Yeah, this partly
You know, I didn't have time to look back. I would have done a better impression of that guy saying, the sun, yeah. Yeah, I probably would have made a bigger deal out of it, but like I said, I was in a rush, so I couldn't bother to watch the footage.
So his plan is to send the genetic material, which looks
And a lot of this stuff, again, because I didn't write this, I sort of had to trust that that's what this stuff looked like. It's like, you know, this material that looks like silly putty. It's like, okay, I hope that's what it looks like. I'm gonna put it in, and sure enough, that's exactly what it looks like. It looks like silly putty.
Will somehow weave an outfit for him out of those little squares or something.
I did feel bad doing the top 11 Superman, the dumbest Superman moments, because a lot of these jokes were already sort of made, but Lewis was very good at sort of putting it in a very, sort of a different light.
And of course, he's sporting
I think one of the hardest things, I can't remember when he does it, there's a scene where Gene Hackman as this night, what was he? Solar Man? Is that what I don't even remember his name. That's how forgettable this movie is. But one of the scenes where Gene Hackman goes, you know, and Lewis and I are supposed to laugh at that. Now, it's hard enough to do a very natural laugh, like you're just watching it and you're reacting to it, you know, without sounding really fake. When you have to do it with two people and you have to edit it together, it gets really tricky because it has to look totally natural when you do that. So that was very tough, but again, I think it worked out well. I had to oh, look, you see the orange? See the orange at the end of the gun? Yep.
Now get back to Washington.
And again, I think I flubbed a line or something, so I need a shot of Lewis. So him just sort of stepping back like that. You know, that wasn't him acting, that was him just getting ready to say another line. I just used it.
Superman. I get a feeling hijinks will ensue.
I'll be right back.
God, is this movie terrible. This is a horrible movie. I remember showing this to a friend, and her jaw was just on the ground. She couldn't believe how bad this movie was. I mean, especially it being Superman. Yeah, what's up with this scene?
What the hell?
Oh, and yes, it's not Victorian. Your mother. All those people that say it's not Victorian. Yes, I got it. Who gives a flying big-lipped alligator moment?
I don't know the nostalgia.
Oh, you see, we still give credit to Lindsay. Was her joke.
Man shows up, who's oddly enough voiced by Gene Hackman.
That's something actually I didn't know. In fact, the scene where he says you have my voice, I thought he was just referring to, you know, oh, you have my urge to, you know, be powerful, you know, you sort of take after me. But it's like, no, he literally has his voice. I didn't know that.
Nothing outlasts the Energizer battery.
No, it turns out Nuclear Man is.
Oh, Nuclear Man. How could I forget
He's a
that?
solar-powered nuclear menace. Well, at least he's a great villain. And in case anyone's wondering, yes, there's about 100 scenes where he's clearly not in direct sunlight, and yet he's fine.
Boy, this was really the...
Yeah.
I think that was another one that wasn't in there, but we just sort of say there's, you know, there's a million scenes where he's not in sunlight and he's fine. But the joke just sort of ended there. I thought I needed a punch, so I put this scene of me with the hat on backwards or whatever.
Nice guy. Who's about to finish.
Oh, here's that roar.
Nuclear Man just belched? I mean, what was that? What are you laughing at?
See, this stuff is tricky.
Wonderful image in my head of Gene Hackman in a recording studio.
You know, and again, both of us did about 5 or 6 takes. You know, I did one of me looking very serious, going, yes, that is very funny. You know, and you know, one of me going, ha ha, yeah, that is very funny, blah blah blah. And it's hard because, like I said, the actor's not right there, so you sort of have to guess how they're going to react. What is that? It's Mario 3, I think.
So they fly all over the world.
Yeah, the rest of the movie is just this, just them blowing crap up, which should be cool, but is surprisingly not. I think it just sent the script shouting Italian stereotypes in Italian stereotypical accents. It's just like, yeah, okay. Hey, no, spaghetti, Super Mario Brothers, Luigi, pasta.
Go all Gumby on our asses.
Does Superman have wall repairing ability?
Not in any comic I've read.
It's a joke I would have liked. I don't know, I still can't think of a better joke. That's why I'm not sure I necessarily liked. Or there's a better one there. But again, I can't figure out what it is. Where's that horrible one where it's so far away it just doesn't even look... Oh, you know, I think I did in the top 11 where it's just this really far away shot. It looks like a Lego. Looks like he's just carrying a Lego. It's so fake.
Oh, I got nail polish on my neck.
That's another line. It's just, I got nail polish on my neck. Well, how do you say that? You know, oh, I have nail polish on my neck. Or,
Oh, I got nail polish on my neck. Oh.
so you just don't know. Wow, he's holding that pretty seductively, isn't he? Surprised I didn't make a joke about that.
At least I think it does. We never see it heal him.
Oh, and just another thing to add to the curse. I seem to remember that Lewis shot some footage, but then it came out, like, really unfocused, or it was blurry or something. And then the footage he sent me also is, like, for some reason the file type, again, got corrupted, or it wouldn't play, so he had to convert it again. Just all sorts of things went wrong with this. You know, you wouldn't think just a review where 2 people filmed themselves, you just put the movie footage, anything could go wrong, but a ton did. It just took forever to put together.
The humor in this is really that much better.
But it got out, people like it, and I'm very happy. Stop it! No! Don't make me do something! I'm just Superman! It's not like I'm...
Superman blows up some product placement.
Batman! Stop! No!
He tricks him into an elevator.
I was gonna make a joke about the old, because Superman actually says to Nuclear Man, she's not in there, she's not in there, like a Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Unconvincing flag ever. They have an irritatingly long slow motion fight.
I forget whose job. I forget if it was Lewis or mine playing the 2001 music. I'm sorry, there's... Oh, and this was my fault. When I was filming, I forgot to film things that I'd be doing while this is going on. I think I just have a few... Yeah, if I don't even think that was filmed for this scene of me just looking bored. So, I felt bad that I missed that, but... Lewis does good.
Gets a hold of Lacey and flies her through space.
That? No, there's no excuse for that. What the hell? You can't breathe in space. No, that's my real reaction. I couldn't fathom that. I don't care if it's comic books or what. That, yeah, kindergartners know this.
It's okay. It's gonna be all right.
No, it's not. This movie is still playing.
But Superman moves the freaking moon to block the sun from
I'm sorry, I'm just laughing at a lot. I forget how funny some of this is. This is good stuff.
I have to stop a supervillain.
After getting Lacey to safety from space,
I'm sorry.
Nuclear Man and dragged him into a nuclear power plant,
Oh, looks like a
which I
set
guess
from Brazil.
defeats him, but shouldn't
Hey,
that
5 of you get that
technically make him
joke.
More powerful?
Solar power, Nuclear Man, remember?
So Lacey tells her dad to
Oh, and this
stop it,
guy's
and
voice
then
who takes over the Daily Planet, it's driving me nuts. I cannot figure out where I've heard his voice. I think it's the guy who does, like, the narration for the Disney trailers or something, you know. The latest Disney classic taken from the Disney vault just be put back to torture your childhoods and, you know, keep them away from our classics that they can't live without because we spoon-fed this shit to them like the mindless puppies that they are. Wow. Really went off on a bit there, I apologize, but I don't know if that guy actually did those voices, but he sounds like it. Yeah, Superman just comes in, makes a speech, and sort of shrugs his shoulders, goes, oh well, fly, wink at the camera.
It's just wanting it.
Stuff like this I love, just building up the joke. Just let it build.
What a fucking love! This movie sucks.
Oh, there's one take, it wasn't bad, I didn't know people would get it, where Lewis actually picks up, he acts like he has a comic and he says this movie sucks, but he realizes he doesn't have it, so he puts it down.
That credit card.
Joke, everybody. You have no idea how many people say that now, every time I go to a convention. A bad credit card! I have to freak out, I have to go crazy, I have to... Every single time I gotta do that. That's why Lewis's name is there first. Because he really did write the majority of it. But that doesn't mean he can't get away with having a blooper here.
What do you do? What do you do?
Haha, you're stupid. I love you, guy.
What do you do?
Thanks for listening.